Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Smite Pro League North America. My name is hi-rez Bart. This is hi-rez Drive Air to my left and your right. Welcome back to Atlanta, where we are going into our next game shortly here. It's the Thurst boys, this time going up against Cog Red.
So Cog Red, undefeated so far, 1-0. They only played one match on the first day. This is the third day, and they're coming back to play their match again. Coming out of the NA Pro League kickoff land victory, they're looking very, very sharp. The question is, can Thurst actually prove themselves? Because
this is a big
Thurst looked good yesterday.
They
were able to kind of perform, but they're going up against Cog Red.
Right, Cog Red's such a dominant team. You have to ban Giannis versus Divios. We definitely know that, and we're going to see if the Thurst guys can do it. Let's go ahead and head into the picking and banning phase of this game. This is our final game this evening. We'll be back, however, tomorrow with a whole bunch more. First picks and bans coming through right now as Thurst will be the left side of your screen. Snipe on the right.
So, I mean, they were able to beat Snipe. So, looking good there. They're looking to probably pick up maybe Kronos again. We saw Fusion OP, of course, run Duborb, which was a little weird in the solo lane, running that kind of play. But he ended the game very strong. Actually, I think it was like 3-3-11, something like that. So a good amount of assists.
They're actually playing Cog Red here, by the way, guys, not Snipe. Just FYI.
Yes.
Just a little bit of an error there that we'll get that changed
Thurst
for you
beat
shortly.
Snipe.
Yes, they beat Snipe last time.
They beat Snipe.
That's right. Now they're going up against the boys of Cognitive Red. The first band coming out, it is going to be Mercury, of course. Yeah, it looks like I'm looking at the picking and banning in game, and it looks like there was a little bit of an error over on Cognitive's red side. They failed to ban a god, so we will be remaking this game and be back into it shortly here, guys. So don't go anywhere. And they are in fact not playing Snipe. They are in fact playing Cognitive Red, and everything is exploding. Is basically what I'm telling you here.
That's supposed to say Cog Red. That right here. and the X over there. That's darkened. That's supposed to result in a thing.
The darkened X
going down there.
Hey,
so,
sometimes the X's get dark.
You never know.
We all know. We've all been there. We've all been there with our dark X.
That's right.
You don't want to talk about it too much, though.
Well, we're bringing it up. So we're bringing it right back into the match, guys. And so keep in mind, right? So we've got Thurst, right? So they were able to they were able to beat Snipe. So it was really important that they were able to kind of get that victory to start the whole Pro League off right,
Yeah.
And they got right into it. So Snipe getting defeated in the beginning, and Snipe was, they had a great lineup. They were probably the most well-performed team that lost at the NA Pro League.
Okay.
So I mean, Allied and Weekend performed very, very well. They were in the top 30% of players who played at the Pro League kickoff land,
very nice.
But they actually went 1 and 2, and so the fact that they were performing so well means great things for them. So we'll see, how that was for Snipe, of course, but for Thurst themselves. They were able to shut that down, right? They're going to the next day, and it's the third day. They're going up against Cog Red. Cog Red looked so sharp when they shut down Dig on the first day. How can Thurst break that apart?
Oh, jeez, I don't know. I mean, well, it all starts and ends with Wolfie for them, right? I mean, that's like the heart and soul of that team. So
he was the only surviving member.
Yeah, that's right. Cognitive Red, it's such a hard team to match up against. I feel like they really bring everything to the table. They have tremendous carry potential out of the soul lane, but it always feels so safe with Divios. So that's the first thing to overcome, I feel like, with this team. But there's
that's a Giannis
what also
ban
makes
in
it
the corner
difficult,
there.
right, is that you have to ban Giannis and Thor, and what they've left open here is Thor. So if the picks and bans go as we see here, and Thurst does not manage to pick the Thor and it goes to Gars, you got to be liking Cog Red's chances.
Well, we have seen Gars, play Hoonbots incredibly well. We've seen him play Mercury a little bit, but not that much. So the question is, is it really worth it to make that ban, or is it the big shutdown, right? And something we've always mentioned is that Gars is an early game scaler. If he gets an early game lead, he carries that to mid and late and almost always wins. And so you want to shut down Gars as early as you possibly can, and then when going forward from that, you wait for the mid game transition, and you start pushing Gars further and further. But the problem is, even if you shut down Gars, right, they've got Boosh in the mid lane, who plays so methodically. Absolutely. It's really hard to shut him down. And then Divios knows exactly what his characters are capable of, and pushes that to the limit. We saw this in the Pro League kickoff land. Zatman trying to trade blows at Divios. They both had, literally like no life left, and Divios said, okay, it's going to take one portal, unstable vortex, and 36 damage to kill him.
And then one auto attack and one half of another.
Right, and then he just throws it out and just boom, kills him off, and knows exactly how much it's going to take. So that's really the player that Divios and Boosh are. And when you have that mid solo stability with Gars going back and forth, it makes it that much better.
So as we were trying to get into the game here, guys, the picking and banning has not exploded. There was a issue with the previous game lobby. One of the teams did miss a checkbox or something like that. So they are remaking. That is what we are waiting on here. If you're just joining us, and as we have seen before, the process of creating and entering a game as a professional game player can be extremely difficult. But it looks like we are finally back underway here as Thurst has rebanned Mercury, and the picking and banning phase comes back on. We'll see what Cogred's first ban was intended to be, as it is coming out now, and it is going to be Nemesis taken off of the board. Just like that, she's gone.
Nemesis has been removed here. And for Cog Red, they actually, the first time they've ever banned Nemesis, against Dignitas, they banned Vulcan, but then after that, they banned Geb and Cirquette. There is the Cirquette ban, as they previously did, so they definitely like to take that Cirquette off the board. This does leave a lot of things available here for Thirst, though. Notably, it's going to be Aphrodite still available, Nuwa still available, Geb still available, Loki still available, Freya still available. A lot of great picks on the board here. We'll see what they want to go with. Fusion likes kind of the weird plays, El Brochacho as well, so they may not want to go for those top tier picks and maybe going for something that works well for their team. The question is, what is it?
Well, okay, so they will first pick the Thor to keep that out of the hands of Gars. So Thirst locking in their strategy here, just like that. They're committing very heavily to a jungler. Very obviously, that's where Thor goes. It's very difficult to play many other. Usually, you see these first pick being swing picks more often than not. Cognitive Red able to answer back here, and they're going to take two of their favorite picks off of the board. It's going to be Apollo and Ra going the way of Cognitive Red.
Oh, Boosh on that Ra is so terrifying. Giannis being removed here. We'll see what Divius decides to go. He may take Ra. We know that Boosh does like Ra, but it depends on how they want to run it. Across the way, Thirst has two more selections to make before the next banning phase goes down. They already have their Thor selection for the jungle. They may want to pick up Geb here since he is available. I know they do like Geb a little bit. Definitely a strong pick for them. The question is it something that they really want to hold on to, going forward? In the jungle, they've got Thor, so a lot of things that combo with that. Some strong first picks available. Freya still available. Loki still available. John Quay still available. Aphrodite still available. They're having on Loki, and there's the John Quay.
Loki and John Quay locked in for Thirst, so that means Loki in the solo lane, John Quay in the mid, most likely, and Thor in the jungle, most likely.
Geb.
And Geb is snatched up just like this for Cognitive Red, and now you're looking at pretty difficult for Thor to put all of his damage with the removal of CC that he relies on so heavily. Geb also very good at bailing out targets away from Loki.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Loki initiates, you pop the stun and shield them from the aim strike Vanish combination. It's very easy for Geb to disrupt a Loki knock-up, plus the ultimate from Geb, plus the hit from the rollout. He's such a fantastic character in so many different ways. The next ban will be coming out here. It looks like it's going to be an Athena from Cog Red after getting Geb. Very intelligent, very standard. Across the way, they're going to get rid of Freya, so that's not going to be an availability in the opposite way for Gars. But I imagine bots would be his selection.
Yeah, it's going to be the bots. They'll probably last pick the bots. Would be my assumption here. They're going to pick up their solo laner or mid laner, depending on what they want to do with a Ra with this selection here. Or they're going to take their Hun bots here. So it's really whatever they want to do. It looks like it is going to be that Hun bots. At least they're taking a look at them. They could still pick up an Aphrodite or something like that, but it looks like they want to keep their solo laner as their swing pick in the final here. Thirst has two more picks to come in. They need their Hunter role and one more here. It'll be interesting to see what they do. Will they pick a true support, or will they try to run a hybrid in Loki or Thor?
Well, Thor was banned out the first time Cog Red played against Dig, and then so he played Hoonbots that time. Now Thor was first picked against Cog Red, and now they have to pick Hoonbots again. But it seems like Hoonbots is his go-to afterwards. We've got Ull selected here for Thirst, and there's the Ares.
Well, duh. You pick Ares in this situation here because they have Hoonbots and Apollo. So Ares does do okay against the Apollo. I was being facetious, but I'm going to roll that into an actual point here.
My face amplifies the facetiousness.
Yeah. Ares does a nice job against Apollo and Hunbots, right? Limiting their jumps and their mobility. They rely on pretty heavily.
Geb as well.
You can stop the rollout. Damage, and stopping the rollout. And we're still waiting on the final pick to come through from Cognitive Red here, but it looks like
be a while.
We are having a bit of an issue. Once again, it looks like their lobby has once again failed. Not sure what the problem was there.
Players.
So we'll do our very best to bring you this game, guys. I promise we'll be in there, and we're just. What is the final pick? It looks like one of the players did actually DC out, which did end the lobby. So we're gonna make it, I promise. Just gotta wait for him to re-emulate these picks and bans, and we'll see what Cognitive Red's final pick will be. But what do you think about this team cons here so far, Dry Bear? What do you think fits best into that Cognitive Red 5th slot?
It's interesting because they've got the bots, they've got the team fight potential, right? They're going to be able to control that from the front end, and you're looking at something else. They've already got their support selection with Geb. It works very, very well. They got Giannis last time, so you look at the lineup that they ran the last game was Ra on Boosh, Apollo played by Snoopy, Divios on Giannis, Gars with Humbats, and Eonic playing Sobek. So this time around, they need a mid/solo. They were able to get Giannis last time, and of course Ra for the boost. So now they're looking for another soloing option. Junque's gone. Aphrodite's available. Aphrodite would be a fantastic pickup here, especially against characters like Loki, who just get knocked back, slowed.
What about like an Owl Kwong here, right? Pick Owl Kwong, put him in the mid lane. Very good against Ares, right? The Tornadoes and Spirit's Tempest just destroys Ares if he ever tries to ult and the Owl Kwong is there. You put the Ra on the solo lane, right? They still have that option available to them. Let's just put Ra up against a Loki, push him in, and then we'll just put a mid laner, a standard mid laner to go up against that Zhang Kuei, who shouldn't have that great of a matchup. Now, they could, in some strange world, put Loki in the mid lane to try to dodge that Zhang Kuei matchup versus Ra. We'll see how that's going to go for Thurst, though. But I think they have their work cut out for him because Cognitive Red has a lot of options with this final pick. And anytime you're talking about they could go a lot of different ways, I feel like it's because their team, as a four-man unit, is very strong against Thurst. Geb, really what's starting that.
Well, we do know Boosh plays a fantastic Ao Guang, so that's an excellent suggestion of an idea there for a Cog Red. We know he's going to play it very, very well. Again, it's going to be very good against characters like Loki and Thor, who are very melee-oriented. Uul is actually one of the closer, flavors of Hunter. Like to get close, get back, get close, get black. So the other thing is going to be influence the tornado, right? So I think there's a lot of options that can go here, and they've got a lot of damage in the back end. Apollo's going to scale late. Rod's going to do a good job of keeping everyone alive. Hoonbot's got that spread, right, which is great. I mean, look at it. Thor, Loki, Uul, Zhang Kuei, and even Ares, characters that like to be at mid to close range all the time, and Loki and Thor are going to be looking to get as close as they possibly can, especially with the jump in. Hoonbot's going to spread them out and immediately pop the ultimate out. It's going to fear them all away, and they're going to be able to jump right on it and basically say, hey, everyone get away from my teammates and focus that down. So I think there's a lot of options here for Cognitive Red because of the Hoonbots and Geb, especially with the support from Ra. So, and here's the thing, like last game we saw Nas Ra, and compare that to Boosh's Ra. I mean, Boosh's Ra is crazy. If he decides to go down that road, right, they could also give it to Divios, and so certainly a strong character pick there. And we also know NQ's Ra is very good. So I mean, it's a powerful character.
Yeah, Ra does get a lot of play in the solo lane. Ra, one of the most picked gods historically throughout competitive Smite. And yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there with that Hun bot's counter initiation against Loki and Thor trying to crash in. If he's able to get the ultimate out, it does have a deploy time, but if he's able to get it out, it will disrupt Loki's ability to stay in there without prematurely popping beads to make sure that his combo goes through. So they do have some nice counters to Loki. Plus, bots will do a pretty nice job of ganking Loki coming out of the jungle there. You know, it makes it tricky for him. He will need to buy the beads to survive. He can't just, ultimate away with that assassinate.
Well, we'll see what we can hold on to. We're getting back into the match shortly to see what the last selection for Cognitive Red is. If you guys are just tuning in, you are watching the last game of the day for the N8 Pro League for Friday. We still have 2 more days for this week. It's going to be tomorrow, Saturday. It's going to be starting at 12 p.m. Eastern or 6 p.m. CEST for the lineup. Same thing for the next day. Those will be the games anyway. The pre-show will start at 11:30 a.m. for the pre-show. So 11:30 a.m. tomorrow will be the pre-show for the Pro League as well as Sunday, same time, which of course is going to be 5:30 p.m. CEST. At the same time, we're also going to have the Challengers Cup going on at the same time. So if you're thinking like you want to be in the Pro League next year or looking to go to Worlds, definitely get a team together for other friendly and powerful and strong dudes to come with you, and girls. We don't discriminate. Keep them in the team and put it together and fight your way through the Challengers Cup because you can go to the wild cards and make it to the championship.
You can, that's right. The first opportunity for you as a non-professional player to get your piece of the Pro League is starting this weekend. So be sure to show up for that. Hindu Man, Kret, and F. Dot, your commentary team for the Challengers Cup. Definitely look forward to what those guys are going to bring to the Mesa. But we are back into the picking and banning phase once again, and we're seeing the rest of the picks and bans emulated, and we'll bring you that final pick over on the side of Cognitive Red and Divios' final pick slot in just a moment here. It's happening again. We're getting so close. The bans have been done correctly. Oh, man, we're firing on all cylinders here, boys.
Oh, here it goes, guys. They're doing the same selection process going on through. Of course, they cannot do a very fast blind pick because it has to be set for the stats, and the bans have to be there, so that has to be logged in for the match itself. They're going to be trolling and not picking and locking because they do those kind of just lock, hey, there you go. So they're locking in, guys. The next selection is going to be
Chuck. Okay, yeah. So Chuck going to be indeed the solo laner to go up against that Loki. Okay, so, Loki can't kill Chuck.
Nope.
And Chuck can do a strong amount of damage through the mid game. I like this pick. If it's going to be a farm fest, Chalk's a good option there, as Loki will have basically no shot at killing him with that ultimate. And the long duration silence matches up well with that Hunbot's ultimate.
Sure.
He can force Loki to beads and try to ult away, and then Hunbot's follow that up right away with his get off my lawn. I'm an angry old man. But we are now just 3 minutes away as the spectator client counts down from being in the game. Thank you for joining us. If you are just making your way in for game number 2 here, Thurst versus Cognitive Red. Just a moment ago, we did see Dignitas fall to the fat chunks.
We did. And one thing I'd like to mention about the Chalk lineup as well is if he throws the Thunder Axe on the ground, he'll strike on the ground, and then ults immediately, he's going to knock Thor and Loki away if there's ever a gank and silence them simultaneously. So it's great to have that double melee stack up against Chalk because he can split them physically and also heal himself in the process with Rain Dance. So I think the fact that they has that kind of combo means that Wolfie and Fusion are going to be hard-pressed to get that kill in the solo lane. Look in the mid lane, though, you've got Ra. Ra is actually pretty straightforward to kill for Thor because of the fact that he can't go over the wall, and he doesn't really have any way to get Thor off of him. So look to Wolfie to see if he can actually focus on the mid lane more than the solo lane, more possibility of a kill there. You're also going to have a good rotation from bots, though we'll see if Gars can get in the mix and take things out. We also have Snoopy who can fly across the map and land in on the fight. So a lot of involvement on the side of Cog Red was Thirst. You got John Quay, can't rotate very fast. Ull can't rotate very fast. Ares, one of the slowest Guardians who can't really rotate very fast either.
Not known for his speed is Ares.
Now, as far as reactions to Ares' ultimate, it looks like only one of the players on Cog Red cannot avoid the Ares ultimate with built-in kit, right?
Right.
Apollo can CC immune himself with his ultimate, so can Ra, so can Geb, so can Chuck. Hoonbots can't, and so he's the only one that has to avoid it, but of course he can be highly mobile and get out of the fight in time. He can even go in and teleport out. He can, we've seen this time and time again, right? You throw out the Sacred Monkey, and as you get pulled in for areas, when you get unstunned, you can teleport the last target you threw it to.
Sure.
So immediately teleport right out, or just jump right after. So
If
definitely a lot of things you could do there.
Yeah, sure. And looking over at Loki in the solo lane matchup versus the Chalk, this will probably be a game where we'll see Loki building into a Brawler's beat stick, I would imagine. The item is actually pretty good for him, the damage and the flat pen that it brings to the table. It's always an attractive item to pick up. Granted, you usually only get the Jotuns with the cooldown reduction, but I could see him getting both of them in this game.
Just for mainly for the Chalk laning phase, but also transitioning into the Ra.
That's right. It still gives him the pen. It still gives him a lot of things that he needs. The healing reduction obviously is not a pure damage style passive that Loki would most often like, but I think he can get by maybe stretching that out, going into a Hydra Star, rank 2, pretty cost effective after picking up those 2 bridge items. So we'll see if Fusion's able to bring it together, or he could just dominate his lane and build straight Heartseeker and go nuts. We'll never know until we play the game, which will be happening here in just about 30 seconds, guys. If you are wondering what the holdup is, we had a couple of restarts in the lobby, and we are now moments away from getting to see this game begin.
We're getting close, guys. The last game of the day. We thank you for your patience as we hop right into the match shortly here. One thing to mention as well is Raw actually has a pretty good matchup against John Quay. It's going to take John Quay until level 5 or 6 before he can actually one-shot the wave, because he's going to throw the card out, he's going to exercise it, but then Raw's going to heal it right up. And so that's kind of, of course, John Quay's going to get stacks into his demon bag because of it, and also get a little bit of healing, but then Raw's going to counter every single time. So we'll see if Jacob Malfoy can do some mind games to outplay the Boosh and the way they put it down to get the heal, but that's the big thing that you're looking at right here, because you got Nantan and Ull, as well as Elbor Chacho and Ares, up against the other side here, which is going to be Ionic on Geb, which Ionic's Geb is so good.
It is very good. Ionic, one of the only players that hasn't died in the Pro League. Is that correct?
Ionic, yes. Ionic as well as Boosh, I believe, the 2 players in the Pro League who have yet to die. Let me check this really quick.
Tough life, no deaths.
Yeah, let me see here.
Well, my friends, it looks like
Boosh and Ionic.
Yeah, Boosh and Ionic, no deaths to date, so their KDA's underrepresented there. But, guys, it looks like we are going to be moving into game here any second now. Welcome to our second game of the night and our final game of the night. It is Thirst versus Cognitive Red, and let's go ahead and pop into the game client now and start off this wonderful game by introducing your teams. Thirst is the blue team fighting on the bottom of the minimap and the left side of your spectator UI here in the green and black. It's going to be Fusion OP in the solo lane, as well, the one and only Loki. Jacob Malfoy will be your mid laner on John Quay. Wolfie will be the jungle Thor. Nantan, the hunter role as Uller, and it will be Elbro Chacho in the guardian role as Ares.
Ares, what a smart lineup there, but across the way, we've got Cognitive Red as well. They're going to be pushing up on that one. Cognitive Red is a strong team so far, and they've definitely been showing themselves 1-0, whereas Thirst is 1-0 as well. I mean, they were able to defeat Smite.
Thirst got out quick here in the ward. They didn't catch out where Thirst's positioning was. They were already past that ward spot, but they're not going to find anybody just yet. It's going to take a lot of patience here from Thirst. They're going to have to wait some time to get someone to come in. They're going to turn the corner, and the jig may be up here. Yep, Fusion OP going to peek around the corner there. And that is that. So let's go ahead and introduce Cognitive Red Tri-Bear.
Boy.
It's Divios, Boosh, Snoopy, Yannick, and Gars. But you can see their shining faces there. But give us a little more information on who they are playing.
Yeah, honestly, we got Divios who's going to be playing Chalk in the solo lane. The Boosh is going to be on Ra in the mid lane. You've got Snoopy on Apollo in the Hunter role. Next to him is Ionic on Geb with that support role. And Gars, of course, in the jungle with Humbots. You can see right now Ionic and Boosh have not recorded a death so far in the SPL. But one thing to note is all these players on the side of Cog Red are less than 18. We've got a 14-year-old, a 16-year-old, a 16-year-old, a 17-year-old, and an 18-year-old. I mean, they're all very, very young, but they're very sharp and very smart. And one thing that we saw at the Pro League Kickoff land about Cog Red is they're willing to learn from the enemy team and try to find a way to counter them throughout the match. They're very dynamic and amorphous in the way they translate their plays. We're actually going to see a Runeforged Hammer start.
Never seen that one in a while. Yeah, it makes sense against the Loki, right? Yeah, you know, similar to that that Frostbound Hammer rank too, that Smithy's Hammer. Although it gives you more health, just no damage in the way of physical protection as well. A great bridge tanky item for the Bruiser style. Left side lane, we're going to have a little bit of a back and forth here.
Snoopy left side going to push back, and Snoopy to the very low. There goes the bladed arrow, and first blood goes to Thurst. Ionic forced away.
Thirst blood?
Thirst blood. That was Thirst blood.
And there is why you pick Ares, because sometimes it works when you do it right.
It hurts.
He has done it right here. And you get production telling us that they're dropping Snoopy on the fantasy team as they're very, very sad here. Wolfie dropping a bit low on the right side, but nothing doing. But let's go back to that Ares. That's
going in here. Gars wants the kill. The teleport's not going to be enough there. The hammer comes on out. Oh, the tick on the Vanish. Can't get away. The Abraham Smith's going to come out of Fusion, force him away. There goes the Thunder Strike hitting two. Wolfie going back to the tower here. So much damage, and Divios is unfazed.
So Cogred getting a foothold in the right side lane here as Wolfie and Fusion get fairly low, but Gar's going to be forced out, not going to be able to farm very well. In the meantime, I do want to get a word in about the Ares here, and that's why he is effective. He tends to only be effective in burst, where players do not have a lot of experience. Ionic in a lot of trouble.
First death?
The damage coming through. Will the bladed arrow be enough? No, it will not. Not going to come back up in time for Nanton there. But you know, you don't get like a lot of practice against Ares. When he comes in, you're just not used to the damage. You're not used to that long duration cripple, and we see Snoopy being too reliant on his leap and going down in the first minute of the game.
Oh boy, that's what's going on here. Jacob Malfoy going to be clearing out the mid lane, pushing this back to the tower. We see a big help coming out from Gars, rotating over all. I'm just going to be watching Ionic and Boosh all game
waiting
long.
for that death.
The first death of the SPL. Oh,
will it be in this game? Maybe Ionic. I mean, it's one thing to be a mid laner and play safe gods like Ra and Ao Kuang and not die. It's another thing altogether to be the support and not die at all.
Oh God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: the death today is going to be the Thirst death of the SPL. So bringing that back there, right side, boom, Fusion OP on the right side, and push up this wave. The decoy will be doing a lot there as Divios uses the rain dance to keep himself alive. You notice in that passive a little bit more effective than we did see other chalks previously the last few days. So level 5 now does have that storm call for the silence and burst damage from above. Decoy will help clear that hack out. The jungle camp now being cleared out here by Wolfie, who's heading home. What will he buy is the question. I imagine, does he have enough for combat boots? It looks like he does indeed. So he's going to pick up combat boots. There you go. And enough for a ward. He goes for a mana pot instead.
Yeah, mana pot, you know, it'll help him.
Ooh, left lane.
A bit. Very thirsty. Yeah, Gars is here. Ultimate is available. It's going to go on Elber Pracho, and this is an easy kill onto that Ares. But, you know, it's a in this lane so far, you have the Hunter dying, but nothing else.
Boosh is here. Not going to go for it.
Wow,
Nanton is there.
Early Gold Fury maybe, though, coming off Cock Red. No, not yet. They are going to go contest the side camp. Wolfie could be in some trouble here. He's got to throw his hammer back out. Getting knocked up by Geb. Geb a little bit early on that knockup. Should have waited for the hammer to go out and try to interrupt it. Is a little bit of a cheeky play he could have gone for, but electing just to put the damage out. But all things told, this is good for Cogred. It makes a little bit of room here for Snoopy to find some farm as the Uller did rotate.
Looking for Jaco. Knock up, Shockwave. Searing Pain going to hit Wolf in the back. 3 players in the mid lane for Cogred pushing up against this tower. We do see a rotation coming out from Fusion OP from the solo lane. Looking at itemization, Divios has finished his Runeforged Hammer, and his ultimate is back off of cooldown. Previously used it to send him home. Ares in the mid lane area. Blink comes out. 2 players on the ultimate.
Wolfie's
Can he pull
in
him
the
here?
sky.
There goes the Purificated Beats. Up in the air is going to be Wolfie. Dunking down on top. Boosh is down. Gets pulled in, and Gars tries to jump in there, but ends up dying. Why would he teleport to that?
Maybe he, I don't know, maybe he
It must have been a
thought
misclick.
it was, yeah, either it was a misclick or it was just muscle memory or he thought that he was going to go to a different target. All of those options certainly there. I can't imagine that he was thinking, I'm going to get kills into these 4. So Thurst 3-1 now over Cog Red. They got their 700 gold advantage. They're going to steal themselves an orange buff. All of these are good things if you are a fan of Wolfie and the boys over here. Cog Red, not a great footing in this game so far, but they do have a kill to their name, and Divios has his Reinforged Hammer done in the solo lane. Chalk can be very effective, certainly, as well, as he's porting back, and that means his blue buff's going to be taken as well now as Wolfie and Elber Chacha rotate over.
So that means that Ionic, with that last fight, is the only player in the SPL who has yet to record a death, of course, of the teams who have played. And so he is not going to be the immortal for long as they're looking to kill him on the left side here, but he's still going strong in the jungle area. Of course, Boosh did die in that last fight as he got pulled in by the Ares. That Ares ultimately making a big difference there.
I mean, this is both blue buffs and an orange taken on the second respawn.
Oh my god.
Being aggressive there. Two of them going the way of Thirst, one of them going the way of Cog Red. So, yeah, that minion chasing down Ionic, looking to give him that first death.
Yeah, not going to work it, but, you know, the minion, I admire the attitude that the minions got there, trying to take out that kill there. Right side, Divios is going to look for some harassment on Fusion OP. Thunderstrike going to land. There goes the minion wave. He's going to stack it right up with the Hog as well. Snoopy does have his Devourer's Gauntlets complete across the way. Nanton's got his Devourer's Gauntlets complete. No active item on the side of either of them, actually. Neither does the Boosh. Boosh has no actives himself, and neither does Fusion. So, skipping out on that. Actually, Fusion decided to go with the Heartseeker start. No Hog himself. Going to clear out this wave using the decoy, stacking it up the best he possibly can. Divios is in tower range. Not looking to fight, though.
Yeah, I mean, he's perfectly happy to take a couple shots there. Randance can heal him back up, and he doesn't need mana. He's just trying to chip away at old Fusion here because Guards is rotating over, and there is no ward coverage, but there is a Thor here. He will be able to react if they go in onto Fusion. The silence needs to come out shortly from Divios as Guards has made his presence known. Overhead smash, clear the wave, and Wolfie starting to shade this way.
Again, over there, Wolfie's in the area. His ultimate is available if he wants to use it. In fact, all ultimates except for Snoopy's is up in the game as it comes up as I'm speaking. Thank you, the Fates, the Winds of Fate. Push me down there. The mid camp is going to be taken on the left side there for Cog Red. For Thurst. Cog Red is going to get jumped on here. Throws up in the air. There's no follow-up if he goes in on this one. He's going to go. There's a dunk on top of Guards. There goes a great shield from Iana, keeping him alive. The shield will push him down here. Right side. Fusion forced to ult away from the ulting Chalk. That Storm Call came out, and Fusion did not want to answer.
Wolfie's so crazy. Ult in, stuns out, uses Hog, takes camp, tries to teleport away. Couldn't make it because of bad placement on the hammer, but just walks right out. Good old Wolfie. And it's worth pointing out as well, in the last game we saw Wolfie play, he did transition into a support role out of the jungle.
Yes.
Considering he was having a tough game there. And so we know that that's going to be effective for him. Even if he doesn't find any kills, a couple of assists and getting his farm together, he could still go for a Magi's Blessing into something like the Void Blade or the Shifter's Shield and help himself out. Jacob Malfoy going to get a decent angle of Divios here, but not going to be able to follow it up with much damage at this stage. Still 3-1 in terms of kills. Gold is 1,000 in favor of Thirst, 1,300 experience on their side as well.
Well, when you go for this very lean build that Fusion's going for, no Hog into the rushed Heartseeker against a Chalk that rushed Runeforged Hammer with Hog, all of a sudden you're seeing this tower falling down very quickly. Fusion cannot get a ward in edgewise with Chalk kind of running down the lane, and so Divios is dominating this. I mean, you see 4,300 gold in favor of Divios across the way. Fusion's at 37. It's a 600 gold deficit in the solo lane. Divios is conquering this side of the map, and Fusion needs the help.
Yeah, Fusion, but I think Loki is expected to lose this matchup. Loki is basically expected to lose all matchups in the solo lane. He just gets his farm. He doesn't really win the lane so much, and so, it's still perfectly fine for Thirst with that Loki pick starting to fall behind. I think they should be pretty happy considering that Gars has not found too much and does have a death to his name as well, so not snowballing yet is a big potential for Gars. He's been such a huge force, but no Thor this time. Force uses Hun bots. We'll see what he's able to do.
Wolfie trying to steal the back Harpies. Nothing's going to be there. They might spot him out here as Gars and Boosh are in the area. Oh, Thor's going up in the air. Looking for a dunk. Going to find Boosh possibly. Gars is in the tower range as well. There goes Yanok from the backside. They could dunk back on him if Wolf gets in range. There's a stun. Needs a good wall to block him away. Good wall's there. There goes the heal. Good Geb ultimate. There goes the shockwave as well. Needs a Searing Pain to finish this one off. Looking for it. Go! Wolfie gets shot down. Apollo from above looking for the kill here. And there goes the first on non-taunt is forced out of the fight. There goes the teleport back on top. He needs a slow on top of it. There's a good axe stun on top. Double kill for Boosh. Boosh looking for the triple kill. Is he going to find it is the question. The Boosh gets a triple kill. Huge shot there. And now that Gold Fury is available. Thirst was not ready for that.
Oh, man. I wish I had Boosh on my fantasy team. Oh, Jacob's going to try to make some plays, though. He's going to find Ionic. There's his first death, and it's a good one. Cogred is able to pick up that Gold Fury, but Jaco is going to do a lot of damage, and he is going to fall, and they're going to lose Fusion and Jaco. They're only able to snipe out the Geb, losing 2 for it and losing the Gold Fury. Not worth.
Oh, man. How in the world is this transpiring right now? The Gold Fury ended up going to the way of Cog Red. Thurst went in after the fact. They got a kill on Ionic, but was it worth 2 more lives? My God, that fight was insane there, and a beautiful play by Cog Red to kind of keep themselves together. And here's the thing, right? It's the raw heal. They stand on top of it, and you try to fight on top of that when you're a character that's squishy like Loki, even John Quay before he gets Warlock Sash online, and you can't contest it. The Gold Fury goes for free. They got 2 kills for 1. Ionic is happy to give away his first death. 0, 1, and 6 right now. He has 6 assists.
That raw snipe just sitting there, and they give him the dolphin. They're like, I'm gonna kill you. He's like, Like, it ain't gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. You can keep on trying to fight
that. I like that.
It's just not gonna happen.
Well, Fusion's back in the lane. He's very much behind Divios right now, so waiting for his opportunity to get back in. With that last death plus the Gold Fury, we're looking at a 1,000 individual deficit between the soul laners here, so Fusion is very much behind. In fact, at this point, it's safe to say that Fusion without help has 0 kill potential on Divios, regardless of what happens, even if Divios dives the tower here. So that's a rough spot to be in.
So, yeah, it is a rough spot, but you know, I think it can still work here. I think that Fusion's going to get his farm. He has a death to his name, but he's not doing too bad. Divios is winning this lane, of course, but you know, I think mostly they just they don't have a good answer to gank the chalk here. Thor coming out of the jungle is not going to be enough. He can just happily beads that away if he decides to pick those up, or really right now just tank the damage outright with the rain dance. And so what are they to do here? You know, we've seen Divios. Well, we haven't really seen Divios in much pro play in the last month or so with physical damage characters and seeing how he can do with a good farm early game. So definitely be looking to keep an eye on that and see if Divios can perform as normal. Well,
damage buff is going to go on the ground here from Wolfie. Strong push in the mid lane from Cog Red. 11-minute mark has been crossed. The Fire Giant is standing tall in his very humble abode on the right side of the map. We do have Divios getting so very aggressive on this right side tower, and Fusion is forced to defend it the best he possibly can. Look at that Invasion Warrior top beat completed here. Oh, this low on the right side. Look for the Storm Call, not going to find it. Backing off. Smart play by Divios. He's playing it safe, and he's putting Fusion in a very dark corner.
Yeah, I mean, he's perfectly happy to just stay a level ahead of the Loki the whole game and continue to farm. He's gone Heartseeker as well, so a little bit of an arms race over there. And you know, Loki's going to bring the burst, but Chalk is going to bring that sustained damage. Uller in a lot of trouble here, though, as the ultimate's coming out from the Hunbots. Can he follow it up? It looks like he can. He's going to get stunned out. Doesn't matter because Snoopy comes in with the final in hands, and now they're going to be able to rally back to their Ra, who is being caught out by Elbow, Chacho, and Jacob Malfoy. Chains coming out of the Gars. Gars wants to fight this, but he's getting bursted down pretty heavily. Now trying to run away. Ghost not going to be enough to finish him off. Taking the skies is Wolfie. Down will go Elbro. Chacho, Boost picking up yet another kill. And they're just baiting Wolfie to come back in here as they go stand into that beautiful ring of healing. And that's going to be doing it for the fight on the left side of the map.
Boosh waited for the double stun. Searing Pain into Ares, beads immediate Celestial Beam to take him down, and then immediately disengaged.
Yeah.
He did such... And he has
Look
like
at his player damage.
Oh, man. I mean the damage...
4,000 player damage, right? And this is what we were talking about last game. Naw at this point of the game had 1,000 player damage.
700.
Well, 773, I think, to be exact. But, like,
right.
Same kind of thing, right? You see the difference in mid lane Raw.
Right, but it also got the heal, right? 5,100, and credit goes to, you know, Naw from last game. I mean, it was actually beating Boosh and healing done so
right,
far.
The more of support style there.
That's right.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
you know, Naw wasn't really looking for the damage last game. He was really just looking to support the players that he knows.
He was rotating a tremendous amount was Naw in the last game here.
Look at the right side tower, those is going to drop to minions, it looks like. Can he get the decoy in time? He's got the decoy. There
no problem. But the archers, are they going to die? Yes, it is fully max, of course.
Well, there you go. Mid camp going to be taken by Elbow Jacho here. We've got a Warlock Sash completed for Jacob Malfoy, and stack that up.
Yeah, he's happy to get his Warlock Sash done. Ra will have one finished here as well shortly on the Boosh. And with the cooldown reduction into Warlock Sash, he's just going to be more of that battery style, just throwing out Celestial Beams left and right.
Celestial Beam is the second most damaging ability in the SPL before today, of course. I haven't run the stats yet again to see what has climbed the charts. With less Giannis play, imagine that ability is going to drop down pretty effectively. Boosh has his Warlock Sash plus the CDR from the Shoes of Focus. We've got the Jotun's about to be out. Oh, in the mid lane, look for Jacob Malfoy. Popping ultimate for CC Mew. They're going to be able to get away from the Humbot's ultimate. Good double stun there. Now turning around for the Ghost. Slow from Boosh. There goes the hit. Wolfie's in the fight as well. Boosh coming in here. Does he have a hammer? He doesn't need teleports back to the tower. There's a blink in from Gars. A lot of damage coming out here, but Jaco's darn tanky.
Yeah, Jaco is getting quite large. Ares ultimately going to come out, but he's not going to catch anybody. Just beads away by the Gars there. So, you know, right side solo lane tower still basically ready to fall. Chalk can walk in there and sneeze on it. At this point, it'll go down. So,
Achoo.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to go ahead and do that. Just walk right into the wave, knowing that there's really not much Loki can do.
There's nothing Loki can do. Mid lane, hand of the gods coming out. Wolfie dropping so fast. Gars and Boosh connect for big burst numbers. Boosh has an ultimate available. It's coming up shortly. He's got that CDR. He's already level 15. It's got to be coming up within the next 15 seconds or so. The snipe would not be enough to kill him at this point, but it's darn close. Looking for the follow up here. Not going to find it. Left side tower is down, and Snoopy is just controlling the pace of this lane.
Yeah, he is. And it's been a pretty quiet duo lane besides that early first kill, but Snoopy's recovered pretty well from that. Is in fact stacking up versus Nantan a little bit ahead, about 600 gold ahead, in fact. So all looking pretty well, and the Gold Fury having a lot to do with that. And speaking of which, she has come back up now, and we're probably going to see the teams shading over that way and looking to pick up that Gold Fury, as it could break this game open. We're only 3,600 gold separating the teams in favor of Cog Red. The experience around 6,500, so they've been doing a good job of continuing to pull ahead with the small lead that they got. A lead that was once 1,500 gold in favor of Thurst has swung back 5,000 gold in the other direction.
We got Jacob Malfoy throwing the wave out in the mid lane, make sure this is safe. There's the Gold Fury prediction, as you had mentioned there. The harbinger of casting calls out the Gold Fury rotation, going to get the wards down on the ground. Right side tower has met its fate. It is now completely ended there. So 2 tier 1 towers destroyed for Cog Red. 9-4. Look at the numbers. We're well over 4,000 now. 4,100 gold total in the lead for Cog Red. The experience will be at about 7,200, which notably is much more impressive considering the fact that we're at 15 minutes and they've already got a 7,000 experience lead. That means they've got more ultimates, they've got more durations, they've got lower cooldowns, and things are looking pretty good for them. Eonok now going to pick up tier 1 of the shell to make those team fights easier.
Divios is going to finish off his tier 3 pen boots as well as pick up a sprint 3 with the 2,000 gold that he had in hand going back to his base. So now with a Heartseeker stacked up plus pen boots and his rune forge and a sprint 3, he is a real damage machine. 105 physical power already.
We got a shot there on Snoopy left side. Nantan is forced to play so defensively here. We see the bolster defense in the mid lane from Ares, just making his presence known. Mid camp has spawned. Garz is on his way. Boosh is on his way. There's the group up. Card from over the wall. There goes the clear, and they can't do anything about it. In the meantime, Nantan is not going to be able to get over to the Gold Fury in time. Snoopy's going to start soloing here. Look at the zoning potential from Eonok. Rail comes from below to make sure no one's there. They're going to burst this down. Will be able to hog it in time. They weren't even in the area.
Yeah, miscommunication there probably on the Thirst. Oh, Garz, speaking of miscommunication, he's going in. The team is not here, putting out the damage on the Nantan. Nantan starting to get bursted. Garz is going to beads away the Thorst, but it doesn't matter. Too much damage coming up between that and the Ghost. Nantan being chased out by Snoopy in the back lines. But let's take a look at the main fight going on at the Fire Giant, or the Gold Fury still. I'm sorry. Here comes Divios with all that damage, putting out a lot of it. Sprint 3 still active, not getting slowed just yet. Fusion OP going to go in on the Snoopy, trying to burst away at the Apollo, but he's starting to get turned on himself. Axe over the top, and down he will go to Divios, who finds his second kill in that fight. And the Divios rotation is good. A 3-for-1 trade plus a Gold Fury in favor of Cognitive Red.
Boosh didn't even have to use his ultimate there. He would just, the fight's over. Great, because you saw Snoopy soloed Nantan on the left side. Then, of course, at the beginning of the fight, we saw El Muchacho go down. And then after that, Fusion was taken out by Divio. So no real need for long-range damage from the Boosh as the mid tower goes down. All tier 3 or tier 1 towers, all 3 of the tier 1 towers are down there for Cog Red. Tier 2 is now being pressured. Can Thurst defend it? They have the personnel now, but can they get him off the tower in time? The question is, X system. There goes the chain. Good wall.
Yeah, chain coming down to Divios as well. Going to tick him down, but Chalk is A-okay with that. He's not going to be too worried about that at all. He doesn't mind that nonsense. He's Chalk, damn it. And he's got 1,400 gold, as does Snoopy. 1,300 on Eonix, so some items going to be finished up here shortly. Executioner, all done but the buy-in for Snoopy, and we'll see what Divios is going to go into. Smart money would be on the Magi's Blessing, considering how these games have been going, even the height of the Urchin, perhaps. But you never know. It could be all damage. Divios likes to put up the big numbers.
He definitely does, and he's doing so this game. Got that shock damage. Fusion OP, Force Away, good ultimate. Purification Beats his pop. There goes the teleport. Looking for a does he have the Purification Beats for the jump again? There's the beads. There's the jump. Overhead smash out of range. The monkey comes out. Over smash and gets it. Goes, gets the solo kill from across the way. Beautiful. Looking for Wolfie. There's a slow. Teleports away. Gotta go back way there with the torrent. Forcing Jeko out. I mean,
Garz just chased that one all the way down. Nicely
how do you get away
played
from
by
a monkey
him.
like that?
How do you chase down a Loki like that? I mean, he forced him to use the bees. He forced him to use the ultimate. That would have been enough. But he got out his bouncing monkey yet again and was able to get back into the fight. But let's hold that as the mid lane is starting to progress into a fight here. Nantan forced to use his sprint, but being pursued heavily by Eonok and Boosh. He's going to be okay for now. Snoopy diving onto Brochacho in the side jungle. Eonok looking to knock him up and give some more damage to his hunter, but he's going to be carded out by Zhangque and unable to enter the Jungle Club because his card was no good.
It wasn't any good. Not going to be enough. There goes that. We see Wolfie on the right side of the jungle putting wards down in conjunction there with Eonok. Eonok by himself. himself. I don't know why you wouldn't lead with the wall there if you're looking for a kill, but it looks like he's just kind of poking Ionic, forcing a shield out or possibly even a roll out. The clean the right way. Look at the itemization. We're going to see Gars actually go for a short sword. This could honestly just be a Deathbringer. In fact, it's going to be a Deathbringer. I mean, if you're this far ahead on a Hoon boss, that's a Deathbringer right there.
Oh, Fusion going to be in some trouble if Divios is able to spot him out. They're going to go on to Wolfie, force him into the ultimate, and up he does go. Are they going to try to initiate on the back of this? So he's just so low, and he is already way out of town. Check on Malfoy rotating in as well, but not much doing there. Left side lane trying to chase out Apollo is Nantan and Chacha, but Axe going to miss with the sprint activation, even with the chain, not enough. And now it's going to be Hunbots who's going to get a good angle here onto Nantan. Here's the overhead smash, going to force away the leap, but the teleport is available. Going to go now in onto Chacho. Chain starting to hit. He's going to have an ultimate available here if he wants it, but I'm not sure the Snoopy can close the distance. There's a dash coming in. Slow coming out from Garsh. Still not getting any crits. Now going to go for that Ares ultimate coming out. They're going to try to burst him down. Is he going to get away now on the back of this? No, it's going to be so beautiful picking him up. Now let's check it on the right side, tier 2, where Divios is diving. Bush is going to hit 2 with that Raw Snipe, but not going to find much follow-up damage on the Jake on Malfoy.
Okay.
Still trying to aggress. Back to the left side.
Gonna jump over, Gar's jumper low, gets the kill, Fusion goes as well. It's a battle of the Hunter. Snoopy does not have the advantage here. He's been backpulling into the jungle. He doesn't have anywhere to go. His ultimate's up available. He needs to pop it around the corner. The axe, the hit, the serenade, the dash. One more shot will do it. Bladed arrow, anything arrow. There goes the shot, and Snoopy will go down. He did have his ultimate available there, but it looked like he did not have the time to stand still and actually try to pop it off there. Unfortunately, Gar's is able to do it. Divios is like, hey, is that a tower?
I'll take a tier 2. I'll take 1,500 gold on that, and they end up coming out ahead in that fight. A little uptick there for Thurst, but Cognitive Red pushes it right back down with that tower kill, now to 7,500 gold in their favor.
Well, if we kind of started that fight off by getting caught, and, you know, it's kind of been a trend going out the whole SPL so far, is that, you know, if you start your team fight out by being initiated on and you're not a Guardian, honestly, statistically, like 70% of the time it's not going to go well, and you really have to make sure that you're playing in a safe position and not really getting focused or taking too much damage before the team fight starts, or it's not going to be a happy day for you. Boosh has finished his Warlock Sash and Book of Thoth together, so he's double stacking that business, and we've got Divios going for that Hide of the Urchin to get an extra little bit of defense across the way. Ionic has matches busting, so he is effectively just an unstoppable boulder.
Yeah, that's right. And we had a brief glimpse there with the Fire Giant of a day in Ares' life. It's very tough to play him at this stage in the game and try to kill wards, because your chains don't really do much to him, the flames don't do much to him, your auto attacks don't do anything to him. So you're just kind of sitting there trying to fight the raid boss wards, and he was able to finally take it out. And Divios is perfectly happy to go ahead and aggressively proxy farm into 3 here of Thurst. He's going to get bailed up by a Geb Shield for now, and they want to fight this as the Zhang Kuei ultimate is coming out. Ares chain going to pull back Divios, but he is just too tanky for it to make a difference with his rank 2 Hide of the Urchin now online. Wolfie is looking to maybe go in, but he actually is going to go in. He should have another stun available, but the silence coming out onto 3 from Divios. Snipe coming through, not finding anybody, and he's going to continue in. Divios popping the sprint now. The Hunbot's ultimate coming out. The big knockout from Geb into the ultimate is going to find 3. Now it's Wolfie trying to get out of town, but he is just going to take too much damage as the medic comes out from Snoopy. A double kill for the captain, and now they're going to take their attention to the tier 2 in mid and continue pushing. Loki looking for a bit of a split on the right, finds a tier 1, but cannot go into the tier 2 as a Phoenix is being pressured by Cognitive Red.
At what cost, though? He pushes that right side tower, gets the tier 1, looking for the tier 2, but he let this team open there. I got to give credit to Gars for waiting as long as he did to get that ultimate, because that ultimate was perfect, spreading everyone. And, of course, Snoopy landing on top of it, and that's it, man. Ionic's got that initiation. Follow up there for Gars, and, of course, get the ultimate with silence on Divios. And then Bush has the snipes, and then Snoopy just comes in and just starts shrekking everyone. We got the right side Phoenix is going to go down. Mid Phoenix is going to go down. They're very quick on it, and they're going to go straight for Fire Giant, because they know the only people alive are Loki and Ares is so slow.
Ares has got to be able to blink in and to do that, and he did blink to initiate in that last fight, so his blink's going to be coming off cooldown probably as the Fire Giant
doesn't have an ultimate.
But they're going to have a hard time even closing the distance. Does Loki have a hog? He does not. He has that girdle trying to steroid his damage, and down will go the Fire Giant just like that. Cog Red, 5 members up, and they are away.
Fire Giant buff in the way of Cog Red, and no contention from Thurst. Thurst is now at the point where they're heading towards Tilt. We're well over 10,000 gold right now. We're at 11.5k gold lead, plus 15.3k experience for Cognitive Red, and they are definitely in the red of this bar graph at the bottom. They're definitely doing, this scatter graph at the bottom doing very, very well. We've got, heading home, it's going to be Gars, This is what he's going to pick up possibly. We do know that it's going to be a Deathbringer into Titan's Bane completed now. Wow, he went a full item right after that. Heavenly Agility is completed there for Boosh as well. Everything's looking great for Cog Red, and Thurst has to make an amazing combo with the Ares ultimate. The problem is Cog Red doesn't even care about the Ares ultimate. They've got enough CC immunity. They've got a Magi's Blessing. They've got beads, and the second he initiates, they say, let's ignore Ares and kill his teammates.
I wonder how many assists Yannick has per death. Considering he has 1 death and 11 assists, no, I'm sorry, 14 assists in this game, and this is his first death, it's probably something like 40 or 50 assists per death. And also looking at the stats here, 16,700 healing coming out from Boosh on top of his 12,000 damage. He is making this
last game he was
really
3-0 and 11. Now he's 0-1 and 14. So he's died once.
So 25 assists per death.
25 assists per death so far.
Pretty good stuff there.
Holy God.
Split push coming out now from the Apollo. Snoopy going to push this wave into the base. The Fireman's coming out, and I'm not sure the Thirst has spotted this one out yet. As the call come out, they're being initiated on the left side, but let's watch Snoopy as he pushes into the base. The damage started to come out, and dropping low is El Brochacho, but Snoopy's just going to go ahead and backdoor this Titan. This should be it as the minions are here. Fireman's doing a lot of damage. The Apollo damage is there as well. It's a full-on retreat from the Chunks, but I think Snoopy's going to have it. Here comes the rest of the team. Guards should be able to finish this one off with them, and that's going to be the game in favor of Cognitive Red as they chase the rest of Thirst back into the fountain. Smart play by Snoopy there. Let's spread out the map. Let's find the damage.
Oh, man. I mean, it's so hard to be Thurst right now. I mean,
yeah.
They had a great start, right? They were able to control the pace of the game. They got their shots in, but Cog Red is looking so good right now. I mean, they saw the rotations, the teamfight control, everything was going in there. And Boosh, once he activates, that's it. And I want to bring up one of my favorite plays of this game was Boosh's triple kill in front of the Gold Fury.
Early triple kill in front of the Gold Fury.
It's the snipe, right? As soon as we saw him go up into the air, we're going to see Thor go up in the air.
Yeah, Thor goes into the air. And actually,
watch the snipe. Ready?
Thor's kind of the issue, right? Thor kind of baits him into this fight.
I'm
He
free!
Initiates it. Zap Wolfie as he tries to escape. It's an easy line to pick up, and then the rest of the team piles in. And here it's just cleanup for Boosh. He's going to just throw out the Celestial Beams. One of them is able to pick up Brochacho coming back in, and then bam, there he does go down with yet another basic attack. So 2 kills coming out on the back of basics for Ra.
That's right. Well, what I like what he did there is that when the counter initiation came out, he hid behind the wall and he waited. And he waited, and then the initiation came out, and then the CCs and the ultimates were down, and he came back out and was like, okay, let's play again. And so he does that. He just gets out of their mindset. He doesn't even know where Boosh is, comes back in, goes out, comes back in. He plays so smartly that it's hard to say, I'm going to kill Boosh this game.
Well, look, he also did something, that I think maybe a lot of Raz wouldn't do in normal play, obviously professional level. We would expect it. You see him, he uses the ultimate, and then he uses a Celestial Beam, and then another Celestial Beam. And then he's saving his spells, right? He has his Divine Light, and he has his heal. He has his heal and his slow available to him still as the counter initiation comes in. So he has tools left. He didn't just pop everything on reaction to that initiation, which is, really, really smart
Well, same
stuff.
thing with Gars. He held his ult in that second-to-last team fight. He's waiting, and then 4 players showed up, and he goes, boom, ultimate spread, Geb initiation, and they just conquer him. The way they're able to discipline themselves is flawless. But if you're watching this, guys, that is a conclusion for today for the Smite Pro League. We have more Pro League matches going in tomorrow, starting at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. CEST. Let's bring up the schedule and show you how things are going to be going tomorrow as well as into Sunday. Then we get 2 days off, and we're right back into the Pro League next Wednesday. So things are looking pretty good. Man, are we going to have to fire Denton?
I think so. Denton,
just
come on,
hired
buddy.
him.
I'm pulling you out. I'm summoning him. He just got hired. He's got to have it. Come on, where's the schedule? There it is. He's going to pull it across the screen. As you see, here is the plan for tomorrow. It's going to be the pregame show at 11:30, followed by TSM SK Coast vs. Mortality in, hey, look, now you get all of me. And then you're going over to the North American scene, where it's going to be Cog versus Cog Red, the team kill, and hey there, buddy. And Snipe versus the Chunks coming up as well, guys. So be sure to tune in tomorrow. A lot of action running from about noon till about 3:30 or 4 p.m., so you have a lot of Smite tomorrow.
A lot of Smite tomorrow, a lot of Smite the next day, a lot of Smite next week. And, of course, if you haven't signed up yet for the ESL Fantasy Pro League, you can do so next week when they unlock on Monday. You won't be able to get the total, but you'll be able to compete every single week. It's a lot of fun. If you're wondering why people are talking about points in chat and why they're upset when their favorite player doesn't do well or excited when their favorite player does do well, it's because they have them on their fantasy team. So head over to fantasy.eslgaming.com/Smite. We'll put a link in chat for you if you want to check that out. That's what everyone is checking. He's got it open right now. He's just checking out. He's put the chat, the link in for you. So definitely go for it. But the point's a big thing. So it's exciting, guys. We'll be seeing you throughout the rest of the weekend. That's going to close it out for us today. For everyone here, the admins, the moderation team, as well as the production staff, myself, hi-rez, Bart, and all the wonderful people that make it possible for us to be here today and the wonderful game of Smite. We'll be signing off, and we'll see you tomorrow.